Hi, I'm Victoria. I'm a child psychiatrist, a parent coach, and I'm also a mum. And I'm doing a series of videos on Christmas and family and children and parenting at Christmas, I guess, because it can be a really amazing time, can be a very tricky time, can be both. So I thought I'd cover some interesting topics that are about Christmas. And today it's the last one before Christmas, and I'm actually going to talk about what is it that actually matters to kids at Christmas? Is it all about presents? Is it just about what's under the tree? Or what are the other things that really, really matter to them? So if you're interested in that, have a look. The main thing about Christmas, actually, for most children, so once they've been through a couple of Christmases, even toddlers, they start to understand that Christmas is something predictable, it's something that happens in the same sort of way, and there's a run up to it, and then there's the kind of day itself, and then there's Boxing Day, and then there is the come down, I guess, from Christmas, is what happens after. And after a few times through, they do start to understand that this is what happens every year. And as human beings, we are absolutely wired for rituals. We like rituals. They give us a great sense of satisfaction. And that's one of the reasons probably that lots and lots of religions do have various rituals throughout the year, because it marks the times of the year, and it really helps our brain to kind of understand time, and as I said, it gives a great sense of satisfaction. Often those also revolve around being around the people that we love. So, but nowadays there's not so many that people actually adhere to, unless you do belong to a religious community. Often we don't have many rituals that are so predictable for us, but Christmas is very predictable for most people, and in fact even people who don't usually celebrate Christmas often end up celebrating it if they are in the country that celebrates Christmas, because it is such a big thing. So you just end up kind of being drawn along into what's happening because schools are doing it, because your nursery is doing it, because everywhere you go you're doing it. I remember being with my daughter, we went swimming when she was I think 2 years old, and even there we had some kind of Christmas photo done, because it's just kind of what everyone does. So you end up just getting taken along, and your child, as they grow up, they really get socialised into Christmas. So I think what Christmas seems to really matter around it is the way that we run up to it and the rituals surrounding it. So when I look after teenagers and I see them, often they're very difficult memories of Christmas, because actually maybe the Christmases in their households have been difficult, and they're predictably difficult. And I think that's what's really, really tough. It's sometimes the thing that happens every year, the rituals, they appear on their own without us consciously doing it. So you might already have some rituals that you've carried on through your own life, from when you were a child. And they might be, positive, or they're just, neutral. It's just a thing that you do. But sometimes we acquire things along the way. So, for example, the stress of Christmas, or, being with family that is difficult and there's always a fallout at Christmas. Sometimes those predictable things aren't good ones. And we just have to be careful about what nestles itself into Christmas, because basically you're creating a blueprint for your children to be celebrating this, for the rest of their lives. And sometimes if what a child is used to is they have Christmases which they really look forward to, but then actually on the day there's always a big fallout or something difficult happens, then they start to think that's just how it is, and they start to associate Christmas with quite stressful events. So on the one hand you're looking forward to it, but on the other hand it's stressful, but then everyone around you is looking forward to it. Can be quite isolating as well if it feels like everyone is having a great time but your family for some reason isn't, even though the reality is probably lots of families fall out at Christmas and it's probably really quite normal. But I guess that's not what's seen in the media, it's not what people are going to be talking about. So I think what really actually matters for kids is what the expectation is on Christmas, what they think is going to happen, and if that's something positive that they're going to look forward to. Of course, if it is, there's always going to be a come down from that, and that's again to be expected, and how you manage that is again quite an important lesson. You might have some extra things that you do after Christmas as a way of getting you through the next couple of weeks. But that's actually what matters. It's not so much exactly what presents they get. It's not so much exactly what family members come round. it's what is it that's probably going to be happening on Christmas Day, and what is that going to feel like? What kind of feeling is it going to leave for them? Is it going to leave a feeling that, yeah, everyone's a bit stressed, but actually in the end it's really good? Is it going to leave a feeling of everyone is really stressed, everyone falls out, and I don't know what's going to be happening in the next couple of days because it's really awful? Is it going to feel quite isolated? And of course, you can celebrate Christmas without loads of people, but it's how you perceive it. You might really like that. You might like having very small family Christmases. And if you enjoy that, your child's going to enjoy that. But if you absolutely hate it and you only do it because you've fallen out with everyone in the family and you don't want to see anyone, and actually it really stresses you out, makes you feel quite sad, then they're probably going to pick up on that sadness. So I think what I'm really encouraging you to do is to be authentic at Christmas. Decide what it is that you actually want. Do it and be positive about it. I guess it'll be much easier to be positive about it if you're actually doing what it is that you want to be doing, rather than doing things that people expect you to do or you feel you have to do, or doing things in a certain way because that's how it is in magazines, or that's how it has always been but you never really liked it. It's finding your own way with something that is going to be regular, that is going to be regular for your child as well. So it's worth investing some thought and time into building a tradition and some rituals around it that are true to you, that you actually enjoy, and that there of course is always going to be some stress around Christmas, because I don't think there can ever not be any stress around Christmas, but that it's something that's manageable for you and that is worth the end result. Whatever that might be, whether that is a big family meal or whether that's having a very small and relaxed Christmas, playing games and singing songs and doing very little. There's lots and lots of different ways of spending it. So I think I would really encourage you to do it consciously, so not to let things just appear in your rituals that may or may not be very positive, but to actually look at what usually happens every year and think, I want to keep this bit, but I don't really want that bit, but I want to keep this bit, and create something that's right for you and that you manage to enjoy, because your child is much more likely to enjoy it too.